Hey everybody, it's the coach. This is Madden Football on EA Sports. Up next, we've got what should be an intriguing matchup between the New Orleans Saints and the Oakland Raiders. So with that, let's get out to the East Bay in Oakland, California. On the call, here are Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis.
Thank you, Coach. EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to Oakland, California. This was the scene a few minutes ago. The folks around the stadium clad in silver and black going to make every last game played in Oakland count. They're ready to go as their Raiders get set to match up with the New Orleans Saints. Happy to be on hand. I'm Brandon Gaudin with Charles Davis. And before we kick, partner, your keys to the game, please.
Well, my keys are on the defensive side of the ball for both teams. And the big one, making sure you avoid giving up the big play. These safeties are going to get tested all game long. Their job, keep the ball in front of them, tackle people, make them run extra plays in order to try and score.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This one fielded at the 5. And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. And here come the Saints for their opening drive. They're led out by their 6-foot quarterback. You may have heard of him. From Purdue, it's Drew Brees.
And when you think of Drew Brees, you think of production and you think of competitiveness. That guy competes on every snap, whether he's throwing it, moving around in the pocket, calling plays, you name it, he knows how to rally a team.
The first carry now, this is Alvin Kamara. It'll go as a loss of 3 right away, and it's second down. Well, he can be a load to handle off the edge, and he can do it against the pass. Sure, he can do it against the run like he did there.
And you mentioned a load. How about having to adjust to his speed as well? Because not only does he bring some pop, he brings some dash as well. A nice play on that situation.
A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13. Brees on the draw, gives to Kamara. And right away, he lost the football. So it goes as a fumble, but the key thing, not a fumble loss.
Yeah, that stat's big, isn't it? I mean, I remember watching teams play. The ball might be on the ground a number of times during the game, but the other team doesn't get it. That's a huge difference in the ball game. And in this case, they were able to retain possession.
This defense looking for an early stop. This is 3rd down and 6. Working from the gun, it's Brees. And Ginn's got it. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle comes at the Raiders' 41-yard line. A nice job there, Charles. They picked up the blitz, were able to complete the pass.
That had the total feel of a quarterback in control. Red blitz, got him into the right protection scheme, so he doesn't get hit back there. He's got a chance to step up with supreme confidence and deliver it downfield for a nice completion.
So here's a 1st and 10 now in Raider territory at the 41. Now a man who began with the Raiders, it's Latavius Murray. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
Came out in a power set, but that only served to put more men in the box. And guess what? If you're going to do that, you've got to win up front, right? Your offensive guys have got to beat the defenders. They lost all leverage on that play.
Ready, 95, 56. 59, 59. Squeeze, double.
They stay on the ground. This time it's Kamara. And he gets it down to the 32. So from second and long, now we go to third and very manageable.
Yeah, they love that phrase, don't they? Because as an offensive coordinator, you can keep people a little bit off balance and guessing because you don't have to throw it. You can come back with a strong run game if you want to. And if you're in 4-down territory, that really opens things up for you.
Here's Kamara trying to run for it. And he's got the first as they'll bring him down at the 28-yard line. It's a gain of 4 there, and it gives him a new set of downs. If you make the stop there, maybe you hold them to 3 on this opening drive. They didn't get the stop.
Yeah, new set of downs now. Now you're worried about, just as you pointed out, not just giving up 3, possibly giving up 6. Let's see what they decide to do here because they've got to change up what they have been doing. It hasn't been working.
Ready. Yellow lady. Mike 59. Watch the screen. Watch the screen.
Breeze now on first down. Pressure applied, and he's going to be taken down. They sack him back at the 33-yard line. Maurice Hurst, the defensive tackle, getting in there for a loss of 5. Great job defensively. I think he was trying to go through his progressions, find someone to get rid of the football. Before he knew it, he was on his back.
So that just brings us right back to what you said in the beginning. A great job defensively. Nowhere to go with the football. That led to the sack.
So second and long, and got to be careful not to fall out of field goal range. Breeze leaves this one with Kamara. A minimal gain there on the 8th play of the drive. Let's get a quick look at the Saints offense.
And the play of this offensive line is going to be so important in this game because we saw the sack a minute or so ago. They've got to be able to give their guy time to throw. That means communication and being physical is vital. Otherwise, this could be a long game.
Now they're coming up on play number 8 of this opening drive, but they're looking at a 3rd and long. From the gun, it's Breeze. This is caught by Ginn. And they stop him short of the first as he can only get to the 20. They do get 12, but they'll be marked short. And that leads to a 4th down.
Well, it looks like they got what they wanted. They got the completion, but they weren't able to break any tackles or gain nearly enough yardage to pick up the first down. Now to be 4th and short.
On 4th down, off goes Drew Brees, and on comes the Saints kicker, Will Lutz, for the field goal attempt. Right hash, 37-yard attempt. And they're able to pick up the first and keep possession. They only got a couple, but a couple's all that they needed as they convert on 4th.
Did that totally surprise you after the meeting we had with the head coach this week?
Well, he talked about being aggressive, but opening drive of the game to fake a field goal, that's very aggressive.
Yeah, you're right. I'm probably trying to act like I knew a little bit more there. He caught me off guard as well, but looking back on it, he did tell us in our meeting he planned to be very aggressive.
And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, New Orleans. An 18-yard touchdown grab. And the Saints take it right down the field and score on the opening drive.
Partner, I think we can all agree that that was a pretty darn good opening drive right there. And the key to it all, going for it on 4th down earlier in the drive. Set a tone for it. And the best part, they've made it pay off.
Will Lutz on for the point after. And it's good as the Saints have a 7-0 lead. A pretty long drive that time, 11 plays all told. And it all culminates in a Saints touchdown. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. So here comes the Raider offense now onto the field. They'll be led out by their quarterback out of Fresno State. It's the Pro Bowler, Derek Carr.
It's been fun to watch Derek Carr grow as a pro. When he was a rookie, they tried to game plan around him so that he didn't have too much responsibility. Now, I don't think they can heap enough things on his shoulders because they know he can handle them.
Carr and the Raiders come up 1st and 10 at their own 19-yard line. First carry for Josh Jacobs. And he goes nowhere. He'll lose yardage back at the 17. Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up 2nd down.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the first down run goes backwards. Throwing now is Carr. And he's taken down. Back at his own 7. Marcus Davenport, the first rounder out of UTSA with a sack.
2 plays so far, run and a pass attempt, and both have gone backwards.
Probably not how they drew that up.
Not at all.
Looking for a better play coming up on 3rd. After the sack, they'll come up now 3rd and long.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them run the ball here just to try and get some space.
And indeed, that's what they'll do as they run it here. And he won't be close to a first down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain there, and it leads to a 4th down.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat? And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. Here's A.J. Cole now, as his first punt will come from inside his own end zone. On the return, Harris. 12 yards on the return that time. And the Saints will have a short field in front of them. They take over here, 1st and 10. Back out onto the field now comes the New Orleans offense. They'll be looking to duplicate that first drive, the one that got them that 7-0 lead.
Of course they would. Look, they're on the road. So getting the 7-0 lead was huge for them, right? Imagine getting up 2 touchdowns on the road, taking the crowd out of the game. It'd be ideal.
Pretty nice work defensively there on the first down run as they hold him to a gain of a couple. Jonathan Hankins in on the stop. Quickly now, the starting 11 for the Oakland defense.
Vontaze Burfict is a super talent and a fierce competitor. He can do it all at the linebacker position.
Set. 95-56. 95-56.
Here's Kamara off the draw. And he's dropped right at the 40. Gain of 3.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
The Raiders call on a nickel set here for 3rd down. Shotgun now for Breeze. And this is going to be incomplete. I don't want to blow it too out of proportion, but maybe circle this play, because if they get the stop and hold them to a field goal here, that's a pretty good job. They're already down on the scoreboard.
A stop now would be vital for them, because it could save them from having to do it multiple times later in the game in order to either get back into it or maybe have a chance to win.
And that is no good. And this score will stay right where it is.
Everything looked good. Good snap, good hold. Sometimes, though, the ball just doesn't want to go where you want it. And this one winds up no good.
Now the Oakland offense heading back onto the field to take over. And a 3-and-out on that first drive. We'll see if they can do better here.
They should have a better opportunity, because the nerves should be settled now. That first series, everybody goes out with a little extra emotion. So now they get a chance to go back out and say, okay, now we're into the game. Let's go play and play as best we can.
You almost get a mulligan then on that first drive?
Sometimes it absolutely serves that way. You get a second opportunity. Nothing big happened. But then again, you didn't commit any mistakes either. Off you go. Usually we see runs like this as the defense breaks down later in the game, but this guy is setting the tone early, running through all types of tackles and put the defense back on its heels.
On first down, they go with Jacobs again. And give him 6 yards here as he stopped near the 35 at the 34.
All right, Brandon, I know we're in the early going here, but those kind of runs, they're going to open up a world of opportunities for this offense going forward.
On second down and 4, Carr. That's complete to his tight end, Waller. An excellent pickup of 34 yards. What a luxury to have a tight end that can not only catch it, but then can run after the catch like that.
What was the old expression back in the good old days? That they used to carry pianos on their backs when they were after they caught the football. Someone would stop and bang out a tune along the way as well. But nowadays, these guys are essentially bulked up wide receivers, and they are a full part of the passing game, and we see a lot of big plays as we just saw there.
They'll run it with Jacobs. And this will result in him losing yardage. Back to the 3. A loss of 2 there. Second down.
And that loss of yards there is not just on him. It's on the guys blocking for him. I mean, they're supposed to create some type of space or at least get a stalemate. They end up letting them through, and they ended up tackling him for a loss.
So they're backed up to the 3-yard line, second and goal. To throw his Carr. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Raider touchdown. From 3 yards out, as his guys are on the board here in this first quarter. Boy, it's nice to have that big, reliable target you can go to.
Each and every time. A lot of people see that position as a fallback. Throw it to them when all else fails. Not at all. This guy can make plays, and that's exactly what he just did.
Yeah, play here for a touchdown. Now for the extra point, Daniel Carlson. It's good, and we're all tied at 7 apiece. 5 plays there on that drive, and it winds up in 6 points for the Raiders. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. Last time out, they had that long 50-plus yard field goal that they missed.
And I'm sure on their sideline, they're thinking to themselves, okay, do we still want to try one if we're in that position again? And I would dare say that the answer would be yes. They're going to have a lot of confidence in their kicker. But just to be on the safe side, I'm sure they told their offensive guys, can we get a little bit closer this time?
Closer.
Yeah, well, you know, I'd rather get in the end zone first and foremost. But if all else fails, less of a field goal attempt for him. I think the best offenses love to get the ball to their running backs in open space because they have the ability to make people miss, and they also have the ability to run over people. And if you do that throughout the game, after a while, they might just run through some of those tackles and go a long way.
Well, we saw him shed a nice tackle on that play. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. What happened there? Was that just a missed assignment on the O-line?
It certainly felt like it, but also the speed of the play. When you're talking about defensive end, they want to be ahead of the clock, don't they? They want to be upfield, making plays on every snap. How about his agility there to run that one down?
And the Raiders call on a nickel set for 3rd down. Here's Breeze to throw. And he finds Cook. And he's going to be out up around the 45-yard line. It'll be a Saints 1st down on a gain of 16 yards.
And he's the epitome of what we call the move tight end, a guy that you can line up anywhere, in the slot, out wide, in tight, doesn't really matter because he has such great skills. You want to utilize him in all aspects of your passing offense.
And there he was in the slot for the catch.
50. Ready? You ready? Come on. You better bring.
On 1st down, Murray. And he got blown up. Losing yardage on the play back at the 44. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
Part of the thinking when you bring in extra tight ends, you're hoping that each of your guys gets those one-on-one blocks and creates a crease for your runner. You know what the converse is, though? You've got to win those one-on-one blocks, and when you don't, that's the result you end up with.
Ready? Yellow lady, yellow lady. 55 to right. Here we go, team. Here I come. Here I come.
On 2nd down, Kamara. And this will be taken across midfield and into Raider territory.
Offensive linemen love creating space for their guys carrying the ball, but when that guy also breaks tackles and creates extra yardage, they almost feel like he's one of them, and they really embrace him.
Ready? Yellow lady, yellow lady. No game on this defense, no game.
From the gun on 3rd down, Breeze. Ginn has it complete. Breeze to another longtime vet, Ginn, for the New Orleans 1st.
Nice catch right there. Brings to mind the sentence, when in doubt, find your veterans.
He used to laugh back in the day when they would call guys like him crafty veterans. You get up in your 30s, you're still playing receiver, but you're around that long at that position, you're doing something right.
Just remember this. When he was young, he thought the crafty veteran was simply a guy who couldn't run anymore. Now he understands a little bit better.
Ready? 5-9. Pick me up. Here we go. Watch tight end. Watch tight end. Tight right. Tight right. We got 4.
A 10th carry for Kamara. They'll fight forward for a couple down inside the 40.
They just keep trying, but so far, finding no room for him to run.
None whatsoever. In fact, you run the numbers, he's under 3 yards a carry at the moment.
95-56. 95-56.
On the counter, here's Kamara. And they will only muster a yard here to the 38.
The best defensive linemen They play with great leverage so they can get low and not get bowled over by offensive linemen. They have excellent hands. They can throw people off on a play. We just saw a great example of a really good run stop by a guy playing the defensive tackle position.
Now Breeze on third down. Open man is Michael Thomas. And he takes this just a few yards shy of the red zone before going out. 14 yards is the pickup. First down, New Orleans.
Partner, this is one of the best routes anyone can have in their offensive playbook. Tough to defend because you think it's a go route, and then he breaks it back on the comeback. There's one other thing you need as well.
A well-thrown ball.
Exactly right. You have a guy who has some precision in throwing the football because of the timing of the route.
Breeze going to come up here, 1st and 10. And he's 4 for 4 now, throwing the ball to start the drive. They'll run out of the gun with Kamara. And he'll get about 5 here as he'll take this down inside the 20-yard line. Getting the sense, Charles, they're going to put a big emphasis this afternoon on the run game.
And why not? What we're seeing so far, it's working pretty well from them. And here's the best part. We always talk about the best performers do their job when the lights come on. I think he likes natural light best.
Let's go, defense.
2nd and 5 now. Breeze. And his throw's going to be incomplete. The target that time, Michael Thomas. But now it'll be 3rd down.
We'll put a check mark in the box where the defense coordinator was saying, how well can we stay with these receivers if we're in man coverage? Because he just did it on that one, forced the incompletion. That allowed him to get bolder with his pass rush, won't it?
Absolutely. Frees up your guys elsewhere. They missed a field goal on their last drive. Here they need something to even get into field goal range on 3rd down. And brought in by the tight end, Cook. And this effort won't be enough as they rally up to stop him a couple of yards short. So out comes a field goal team now for the 2nd time here today. A 33-yarder from the left hash. These two teams all tied after one. And Lutz puts this one through. And they take the lead here now at 10-7. So he gets a shot at atoning for the earlier miss here in the first half and able to knock it through.
And what a relief for him, don't you think? Because how many games have we done where kickers missed one early and never gotten a chance to atone for it the rest of the game? That's a lot to carry around.
Following the made field goal, Lutz to kick it away. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. And now Oakland ready to take the field. And they were able to punch it in the end zone last time. They'll be looking to do that again here for the defense. Obviously, they'll be looking to stop them from punching it back in the end zone.
It always is punch-counter-punch, isn't it? And which team has the advantage? Well, let's just go back. Last time on offense, they rolled downfield, got into a good rhythm. You can see a little more bounce in and out of the huddle. You can see the sideline really get into the game. So the
hit from behind, and he's going to be driven down. The sack coming from defensive end Cameron Jordan.
Sometimes I watch games and wonder why they use play fakes on certain passing situations because it's not going to fool anyone. I don't know if that was the case here, but the end result was the same. No one fooled. The quarterback was hit.
So after the sack, here's 2nd and 14.
Yeah, we don't want none.
Carr. Quick hitter here. It's complete. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face third down.
That's a gain of 8. Makes it 3rd and 6.
And for the Saints here on third down, an extra defensive back on the field. On the draw, Richard. And they'll get him down at the 34, and he's going to be short of the first by a few yards. It'll be a gain of 4, but it won't be enough. It leaves him with a 4th down now.
But forget knowing where the first down line was. This defense created their own line of scrimmage. They won every battle up front, and a lot of times that is one-on-one. And if you win your one-on-ones enough times, your defense is going to be pretty good. They had more people to the football and snuffed out the play.
Here's A.J. Cole now as he'll kick it away for the second time. Back out onto the field now comes the New Orleans offense. And they split the uprights last time for 3. They've got the lead. They're not going to play this conservative. They're not hoping for another field goal. They're hoping for a touchdown.
I'm with you on that one. I like where your head is. I like the way you're thinking because you're exactly right. Trying to sit on a lead and play that way, that doesn't work too well for most teams. Run your offense. Run what you do best. Exactly. Put it all the way down and try to increase your lead in a big way. And the best way to do it, touchdowns. That was a good run, and it got to the second level. And what I mean by that is that's where the linebackers usually play. First level being the defensive front, last level being the secondary. But the strong safety position ended up making the tackle. And oftentimes we call them a hybrid. Combination defensive back, combination linebacker. We saw the linebacker make the stop.
And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. 10 yards, good for his Saints, first down.
We always talk about having to read defenses and how complicated that is. Well, this was an excellent read. Read the pressure and got rid of the football before it even got to him for a nice game.
And when they're blitzing like that, running back usually a good spot to go with a football?
Without a doubt, because he's right in your sight line or he's near you. So you're able to just get it to him easily. And once he gets in space, that's usually a good matchup for him.
Breeze now, 9 of 11 passing in this first half. He's got his guys a 1st and 10. Throwing now is Breeze. That'll be complete to Cook. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. 10 yards, good for his Saints, first down.
I got a kick out of that one, partner. You and I talk often about trying to hide receivers in certain situations, but a guy of his size, can't really hide him. But the tight end drag route, definitely an effective way to sneak him across the formation for an easy completion and a first down.
The Saints first down there on a gain of 11.
I like watching the wide receiver screen because it's a real teamwork play. Because guess what? The guy catching the ball, he'll get all the credit. But how about the people who have to block in front of him, either fellow receivers or offensive linemen? That makes that play a really nice timing play, and sometimes it can break big.
So here's a 1st and 10 now in Raider territory at the 41. They run from the shotgun with Washington. And a short gain there down to the 37-yard line. Give them 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
Some of the most unselfish players on any football team, defensive tackles, because we ask them to just eat up blocks and allow other people to make tackles. And when he can make a play himself, as we just saw there, that's a big day.
On 2nd and 7, Breeze. The catch made over the middle by Ginn. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle comes at the Raiders' 15-yard line. This drive, it's been a good mix. 3 passing plays, 3 runs, hitting on all 3 of those passes, and the last one putting him in the red zone.
So wouldn't you think play action right here? Because you've got the ability and had the ability to run it and throw it. Go play action and take your shot at the end zone.
Ready. 95, 56. 59. Mike to 59. Keep it up, defense. Keep it up, guys.
Now a first down carry. It's Kamara. And they get to him quickly here as he's stopped right around the 13. In on the stop, it's Tahir Whitehead.
But that call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive, and once again they show passing formation, showing the shotgun. Then they ran out of it. That's a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to a short gain.
Here we go. Here we go.
From the gun, it's a run for Kamara. And he'll be taken down here at about the 11. Another 2-yard gain there, but they'll need to do better this time. It's 3rd and 6. 2 yards on the first down carry, and then followed up by 2 yards on the second down carry.
Well, that's definitely not going to be enough to get the job done. Wasn't the expression 3 yards in a cloud of dust?
Now they're going to need 6 on 3rd down to keep the drive going. Now Breeze. And he'll go down. Brought down at the 20-yard line. Max Crosby in there to get him for a loss of 9 yards, and that also leads to 4th down. And, partner, it's safe to say that the secondary really contributed to that sack.
Yeah, nickel set, 5 defensive backs. They covered everything. Nowhere to go with the football. But my question is, why didn't he throw it away?
On 4th down, off goes Drew Brees, and on comes the Saints kicker Will Lutz for the field goal attempt. This will be a 37-yard attempt. And Lutz's kick is good. And the lead stretches to 6 here. It's 13-7. So a good kick there, and they put the bow tie on it with 3 points.
And let's face it, everybody wants a touchdown. We know that. But in the NFL, defenses are awfully good. You're not going to score each and every time. Be able to knock the ball through the post and take the throw.
By the way, I said bow tie. I meant just bow. Not the tie, but yeah.
Either way.
You got it.
I just went right past.
Following the made field goal, Lutz to kick it away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. Now the Oakland offense heading back onto the field to take over. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you called before, realize it hasn't worked
so well. Go to something else. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Cameron Jordan picks up his 2nd sack of the afternoon.
I'm starting to feel for that quarterback back there. I mean, you know me. Normally, don't have a lot of empathy for the QB, right? In this case, definitely. He's been on constant duress this entire game. I don't know how he's surviving back there.
And to think, there's still a long way to go in this football game. Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. Carr gives to Richard. And he goes nowhere. He'll lose yardage back at the 17. That backs him up 1 yard and brings up 3rd down. Another example right there how this defense really is winning the entire game at the point of attack.
Yeah, right there at the line of scrimmage because they are dominating it. It allows their interior guys to get upfield and spill into the backfield. So how are you going to combat that? You know, people say bring in your tight end, keep him in. Your running backs, they have to step forward. Bottom line, your offensive line has to block them first to give yourself a chance.
On 3rd and long, it's Carr. And this is taken in one-handed. What a catch. And they'll bring him down here up at about the 22-yard line. The completion good for only 6, and that'll bring up 4th.
Gotta love the catch. I think you gotta love the gloves as well.
Yeah, these one-handed catches, that was great, and they're fun. They're becoming a little more ho-hum, aren't they?
Yeah, they really are. And I know that it sounds like we're taking credit away from the guys, and we don't mean that at all. They really work hard on this one-handed catch thing, but I think the gloves have to be helping in a big way.
Here's A.J. Cole now as he's on to punt for Oakland. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. Harris now to return. We'll call that a punt of 54 yards. Well struck. And the Saints will take over with a first down and 10. Latavius Murray getting set to go again. The passing game, they've had more success there than the running game. Maybe something they game plan for.
How come they didn't tell us about it?
Because they wanted to keep it a secret.
We did ask, didn't we? But I think what happened in this one is they've realized that they've established the run pretty well, and teams are going to key on that. They thought they could open it up and have success through the air, and that's exactly what's going on.
Yeah, they've had success, at least so far here in the second quarter.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense, when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
Here's 2nd and 10 now from about the 32. Breeze now. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on 3rd down.
You get a tight end like this, and you know he's used to dishing out punishment, but here, he's one that has to absorb the contact, and as a result, unable to hold on to the football.
The Saints on 3rd down, 5 out of 9 thus far. This is 3rd and 10. Now Breeze. Throwing the comeback route. He's got the hook up to Thomas. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. 12 yards there, good for a Saints first down.
And another thing that makes a comeback route really effective is that oftentimes after you've made the initial move, receivers breaking away from the defensive back, and that makes it a really tough play to defend. A nice chunk of yardage picked up there.
Ready.
Breeze now 12 of 16 thus far. It's 1st and 10. Now Breeze again. Throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete. He was trying to get it to his running back, Alvin Kamara, but it's going to be 2nd down.
So it looked like maybe his 3rd or his 4th read on his progression. Just trying to find his outlet man that time. Ends up leading him just a bit too much.
So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. Breeze to throw again. It's brought in right side by Ginn. A gain there of 21 yards. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. You can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
And he'll lose yardage here, back at the 41. That really sets him back, a loss of 6.
You know what the key to a good screen pass is, don't you?
Bet you're going to tell me, good blocking?
Well, good blocking eventually, but first it's good acting. You want to let the defenders go past you, leak out to whichever side or even in the middle where you want to set up the screen, and then you do your blocking. How about the read, though, by the defensive guys? They weren't fooled at all and actually ran with the lineman to where the play was and smothered it for a loss of yardage.
So they had the big loss on that first down pass play and facing a 2nd and long. On the ground, Kamara. And a good job by the Raider defense yet again as they drop him for a 2nd straight loss. Run coverage, excellent there from the defensive end position.
How many times do we sit with coaches and they talk about a base defensive end, a guy who can anchor and play with leverage? We just saw a great example of it. And how about the bonus? Tackling the runner for a loss.
First and second down were a disaster. Both went backwards. Now it's 3rd and 18. They need something big. Brees going to throw. And that is incomplete. So on trots the field goal unit, and wow, this is going to be a challenge here. They spot it on the midfield stripe, so it is a 60-yard attempt here. And this is off target to the left. Didn't get there anyway. It's no good, and this score will stay right where it is. Derek Carr and the Raiders set for their next possession. What can they do now, Charles, to make sure this highlight montage doesn't continue to show more pressure and pressure and pressure?
You feel like it always comes back to leverage, don't you? Who is going to win that battle of the offensive and defensive lines? Low man wins. We talk about that, but we think about it in a running game. Well, guess what? The same thing happens when you're trying to pass protect. Are you low? Are you balanced? Are you in a position where the pass rush won't bowl you over on their way back to the quarterback? They've got to reestablish that in order to try and keep their man upright.
Because they have been bowled over a lot so far in this one. Call that a very strong gain of 24.
Of course, the catch was nice, but how about what happened after? Able to stay on his feet and gain all that additional yardage. So many of these slot guys, I think, have running back in their background.
Here's Jacobs on 1st and 10, and he'll be tackled at the 23 after a gain of 3.
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football, but these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense, and they can add up as the game goes along. You control the clock, you control the ball, and that way you often control the game.
Watch the run, watch the run.
On 2nd down now. Richard, and he'll be brought down inside the 20 at the 19. 4 yards on the pickup there as it'll leave him with a 3rd and about 4 more for a 1st.
When you find that kind of yardage, you couldn't be more confident as a ball carrier. And guess what? You're going to go back and tell your offensive coordinator, I'd like to keep carrying it, thank you.
The Raiders on 3rd down. 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This is 3rd and 4. Working from the gun, it's Carr. He's got a man open. It's Hunter Renfrow. And he'll have the 1st down, getting this one to the 14-yard line. It's a pickup of 6 and good enough to move the chains.
And that one was a lot of fun right there because that was the game within the game. 3rd and short, blitz was on. What's the key for the quarterback? Get out of your hands in a hurry. And that was a quick little completion. Got the job done for a 1st down.
Carr will come up here with a 1st and 10. And he's a perfect 5 for 5 here to begin the game. Richard. And they get to him quickly here as he's stopped right around the 13. Marcus Davenport there to take him down.
A 1-yard gain can look like a disaster, but it all depends on how the game is going. Is it a series of 1-yard gains running the ball? If that's the case, you might have to start thinking about throwing it a little bit more. But if it's just the occasional 1-yard run, hey, congratulations to the defense. They won that one. Come back and get them the next time.
They go back to the ground, this time Jacobs. And he'll take this into the end zone. Now, hold on here. We do have a flag down. So let's see what this is about. Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And with it, his guys take the lead here by a point. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This fielded at the 2. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. And the last go-around for them, they tried that really, really long field goal, couldn't connect.
And in retrospect, I think a lot of people would say, well, why would you try one that long? You hurt yourself in field position. The ball comes out, you know, there. That only helps the other team. But I look at it as maybe it was a double shot of confidence. Confident the kicker could make it. And even if he missed, confident in their defense that they could hold him.
5 yards on the catch there, brings up second down. 2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. Fans, a reminder, I have a note card here that says ad-lib halftime previews. So I guess let's do just that as we'll hand things over to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando when this one reaches halftime. Did I do okay?
You did great. Not a bad job.
Hey.
You know, writing down your ad-libs.
If you print it, I'm going to read it. I'm Brandon Gaudin.
First down, New Orleans.
First down now, but the clock continues to move. Breeze now on first down. And this one complete to Smith. That throw good for 4. It's second down.
But there wasn't much there with that hitch route. They didn't gain what they expected. But sometimes when you call a hitch, you really don't have an alternate to go to. You don't have a second route to throw it to. So sometimes you have to rifle in there and hope for the best.
Breeze, one of the best ever in these situations as he's trying to get his guys set. Throwing again on second down. Breeze. This is complete to Michael Thomas. And he'll take this from 147-yard line to the other. A gain of 6. The Saints going to call the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. They had the catch on second down, but it didn't help at all, and now they're looking at third down here. Again, they'll throw with Breeze. And this is Cook with a grab. Now we'll get a quick timeout called by New Orleans, number 2, as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. Breeze now over 200 yards already in this first half. It's 1st and 10. Again, it's Breeze. And that incompletion breaks a string of 5 straight connections. And it's second down. The rookie there defensively to knock it away, Trayvon Mullen. Well, the incompletion, yes, but maybe here not the worst thing in the world?
No, not on 1st and 10. It actually gives them a chance to regroup, relax just a little bit. They huddle up, talk it over. Then they get a chance to continue their drive.
Breeze will try again on second down. Looking again for Thomas, this time complete. 25 yards there on the catch and run.
When we watch Drew Brees practice, the thing that always strikes us is after every throw he makes, he continues to go through his progressions. You know, so he gets that muscle memory. Okay, in a game, if I don't have this throw I just made, I might have this one, I might have that one. It's amazing. One of the reasons he's come out so hot today, he's already seen it happen.
Breeze going to come up here, 1st and 10, and he's 6 of 7 now on this drive. Into the red zone, it's Breeze. This is caught by Gill, and they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. 11 more yards that go around, a first down as well. And now with that completion, he's north of 200 yards here in the first half.
And he's going to break our statistician, Marvin, isn't he? Because Marvin right now is just tallying it up. Hope his hand doesn't hurt too much doing this or keeps hitting the calculator. But my goodness, what a start he is off to. By the end of this game, he could have monster numbers. He just wants to continue to be accurate.
First down now, but that clock rolling.
Watch Mike. I got you.
From the gun, it's Breeze. Now Breeze lost the football, and the Raiders pick it up. And he'll bring this one back to the 29. The Oakland offense about ready to start this next drive. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on second and short.
Getting had a ton of success here so far, but you get the feeling that he might be on the verge of popping one.
Yeah, even on that one, there was a little bit of a hole, but it closed there quickly at the end.
Okay, right, Brandon. Thanks very much. And welcome in, everyone, to this slimmed-down version of the EA Sports Halftime Report. This one has the look of a game that could very well go down to the wire. Just 1 point separating these two clubs at the break. But they're ready for the second half, and we are too, as we'll kick it right back out to Brandon and Charles.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. The Raiders with the lead already, and they will get the football here as the second half is now underway. This is taken at his 4. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line.
Let's go.
Out comes the Raiders offense. They'll go on offense first to start quarter number 3. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had the ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace because you are looking for some separation in this ball game.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt. Show them one thing, hit them with something else.
So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. Carr going to throw. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down.
Well, this at least is the right idea. I think they've got to get the tight end more involved.
He had just 1 target in the first half, incomplete. Now incomplete here with the first target of the second half.
Yeah, should not stop them at all from going back to him, though. Find him.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Able to find Waller. That's complete. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Give him 19 there as the drive marches forward.
Almost not fair. The big guy running the corner route, being able to lean and push and get to where he wants.
So how do you stop him?
A lot of times you want to have a linebacker on him, a bigger body guy who can handle him physically, but a lot of times that doesn't work as well because his quickness often wins the route.
Down. Right there. 54 Mike. I got you, son.
Throwing on first down is Carr. And the coverage terrific there as that's knocked down and incomplete. The linebacker, Demario Davis, got a hand in to break that one up.
It's always tough for the guys throwing the football when they think they've got a completion and the ball's almost there, and then someone sneaks a hand or two in and bats it away.
Now Carr, after the incomplete pass, brings him up 2nd and 10. Throwing again. Carr. That's complete to his tight end, Waller. And this is going to be another first down as the tackle's made at the Saints' 36.
I know exactly what's going to be said about that play from the defensive perspective.
What's that?
That's why I tell all you guys we need more than one tackler to the ball. He broke the first tackle. Luckily enough, there were more people there to get him down.
So in Saints territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 36. Now Carr again. And he'll find Moreau here. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. Solid gain of 18 and a Raider first down.
Partner, it's a lot of fun watching the NFL now, isn't it? Because when the big fella runs routes, it used to be when we were kids, he'd run about 3 different routes, and that was it. Now you can run anything and catch the balls we just saw there.
Carr now, 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10. Into the red zone, it's Carr. He'll find his tight end, that's Waller. And they work this near the 5. He'll be stopped at the 6. Another nice gain. That's now 30 yards between those last 2 plays.
And after that completion, you can understand why so many teams in the league are emphasizing speed on defense at every position. The tight ends have created so many tough matchups now. If you can't run with a tight end as a linebacker, this is going to be the result every time.
And that'll get him halfway there as he takes it from the 6 to the 3-yard line.
Well, they certainly had success throwing the ball in this drive, and not as much running it as we just saw once again on that last play. Stopped after a very short gain. But I wouldn't abandon the run totally, because otherwise, pass rushers just tee off on your quarterback. Makes it very, very difficult for him in that situation.
So the ball position now at the 3. Here's 2nd and goal. They're able to get a couple here, but won't get across the plane as they stop him right around the 1.
His path became similar to almost running a stretch play, didn't it? Trying to find a crease, anywhere to put his foot in the ground and cut back. It just never materialized.
Well, they've gotten it to the 1. Can they get that final yard here on 3rd and goal? Now Carr. And this is caught. Touchdown, Raiders. Foster Moreau, a beast in the red zone with his 2nd touchdown of the game. And the Raiders able to extend that advantage. There was no going through the progressions on that touchdown pass.
Yeah, nor was it necessary. His receiver won that route early, presented himself, no reason to wait. Go ahead and put it on him and score a touchdown.
Carlson on for the PAT. And with that, the lead is up to 8. So the drive goes 75 yards, 10 plays, and it ends with an Oakland touchdown. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This is taken at the 3. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. Now the attention turns to the Saints offense getting ready for their first possession of the second half. They trail offense first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned, because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve.
At the 26-yard line.
Ready, 95-56.
A man who's been busy this afternoon, it's Kamara again. It'll go as a gain of 7 on the play, and it sets up a 3rd and inches situation.
That was a good run, probably right on the edge of breaking into something really big. So the defensive guys right now are talking about, okay, what can we do to slow him down before he truly gets started?
Now flags will come in. And I think this is against the Saints up front. That's going to set them back 5 yards. And how about the dime look here? 6 DBs on 3rd and inches.
Daring them to run the ball.
Working from the gun, it's Breeze. And he finds Cook. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 14 yards is the pickup. First down, New Orleans.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. And that's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
Ready? You ready? 59. Let him know, let him know. Let him know, let him know. Watch the ship. Watch the ship.
Now a fake on the give here as they try the run-pass option. He's got Smith here.
An eligible receiver downfield. Offense.
And those linemen, of course, can't be more than a yard downfield when a pass is thrown, and they might have been able to call that on a couple of guys there.
Ready? Yellow lady, yellow lady. I'm coming for you, son. I'm coming for you, son.
Following the penalty, it's Kamara. 4 yards there on the carry, gets it back to 2nd and 11.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
Ready? Yellow lady, yellow lady. Watch the twist, watch the twist. Great cut.
Again, it's Kamara. And able to work about 5 yards out of this as he's taken down up near the 47.
But you got to give kudos to your offensive line and the guy carrying the ball, because they were in a 2nd and long situation. It seemed pretty dire, but they brought it back to 3rd and manageable with that run.
Ready? 5'9". 52 right here. 52. I'm coming after you. I'm coming after you.
Now Breeze on 3rd down. Open man is Michael Thomas. And he has the first down yardage before they bring him down right at the 45. Breeze on the hook up to Thomas for the New Orleans first.
One of the feature points of the in route is being able to make a nice throw to the middle part of the field. And for a quarterback, that's one of the better throws and better looks that he'll get. But he has to be careful not to wait too long and let his receiver wander into some tough territory. If he's late with the ball, he can get his receiver hit and hit hard.
So here's a 1st and 10 now in Raider territory at the 45-yard line. Now Kamara. A gain of 3, 2nd down. Four receivers now in the formation. 3 to the left, 1 to the right on 2nd and 7. Now Breeze. It's caught. Smith. And he's taken down inside the 30. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle comes at the Raiders' 29-yard line. And there they went crossing route against the zone defense. What do you think of that?
Takes real coordination between the passer and the receiver because you've got to read those zones and where the open spots are and be on the same page with the guy throwing the football. Because sometimes you're throwing it in front of the zone. Sometimes you're throwing it between the zones. Sometimes the receiver's going to just kind of find a spot and what we call sit down and present himself to the quarterback and throw it there. It's a tough read, but when they're in sync, it's really effective. When you execute a drag or a crossing route really well and give them a chance to let it develop a little bit, you can gain some significant yardage hitting your tight end on that one.
Bree's going to come up here, 1st and 10, and he's 4 for 4 now, throwing the ball to start the drive. Looking for a crease, can't find one. Stopped at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down. They've called his number a lot this afternoon. You wonder how much tread is left on those tires.
We certainly do, but I always think back to one of my favorite coaches in the NFL. And he used to have a meeting with his running backs every year in the offseason and say, look, as many times as you're going to carry the ball, you should be able to carry it one more time, so make sure you get in shape.
2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it.
Ready? You ready? Line's 59. Hey, pick it up, defense. Let's go.
From the gun on 3rd down, Breeze. Cook with a first down and much more. That'll be complete to Cook. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
And in a lot of ways, that catch is expected. Red zone presence, and that one was realized there. You've got to find your tight end in that situation.
They come out here in the I. So another 3rd down conversion, and now they've got a 1st and goal. Try to pound it in, Kamara. And he goes backwards on this one, losing yardage to the 7. That's going to go as a loss of 7, and it'll set them back for 2nd down.
Well, it's been the air game that's taken them down on this drive before they finally turned around and handed it off on the last play.
And now they're looking for the big boys to get him in the end zone. Couldn't do it there.
It'll be interesting to see. Offensive lines had to pass block a lot on this drive. Will they be able to revert and fire out and create some space in the run game?
Now from the 7, here's 2nd and goal. Kamara trying again. They'll get this halfway home from the 8 to the 4 on a gain of 4. 2 straight shots on the ground. Now on 3rd, do you go to the air?
I think the possibility exists, and if you're doing it, you're probably going play action since you ran it twice. But I often think that 2nd down is a time you go play action and throw the ball. I say commit to the run and think about it being 4-down territory.
Meanwhile, on 3rd down, they take a shot at the end zone, but it's incomplete. So it's been a long drive. They've held the ball for quite a while. Now what do you do here?
Well, to me, at this stage, after this drive, this close to the goal line, 3 points would be a letdown. I'm going for it here.
On 4th down, off goes Drew Brees, and on comes the Saints kicker, Will Lutz, for the field goal attempt. From the right hash here, should be an easy one. The kick by Lutz is good. And high fives for that one as that drive ends in 3. He's got 9 points on field goals now. He's made 3 of them. That gets him a bit closer, but there's no question they need to start turning some of these 3s into 6s.
And for him, it's not his concern, right? He just goes out there when they call on him and goes ahead and puts points up on the board. But the offense has got to get together and figure out what's stalling their drives, so they have to keep calling on him.
Following the made field goal, Lutz to kick it away. This fielded at the 2. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line. Derek Carr getting set and ready to go again on offense here. He has been consistent, hasn't he? He played well in the first quarter, good second quarter, and now continuing that here in the third.
And that's the word that they're always seeking from the guy taking the snaps, is consistency. Taking care of the ball, making sure it gets to the right people, no errors, right? Not turning it over, and just doing all the right things. That's leadership, and it inspires confidence in a team.
Yeah, been a good leadership and a good distributor.
Frustrating for a defense, energizing for an offense. Finding a way to create that type of yardage in your running game, that'll make the guys carrying the ball very, very happy.
All day, just like that, just like that.
On second down and 4, Carr, he sets to fire deep. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be third down.
One of the toughest things about playing defensive back is pattern reading, trying to figure out what they're doing. And on that one, they had to fly, just sending a guy downfield with the in route accompanying it, what people call a dagger route, trying to hit the guy underneath after the clear out. In this case, though, they're not able to get it done.
Yeah, they said forget the underneath route. They went for the guy on the fly, but as you said, incomplete. They stop him for only 3 that time, and that'll bring up fourth down.
He wasn't the primary target, but I think it was almost like a check down situation, wasn't it?
Yeah, hoping he can break some tackles, a big tight end, but he couldn't do it.
Yeah, get it to that big frame and hope he could scatter some bodies, unable to get it done.
Here's A.J. Cole now. He's been terrific so far. And great special teams work here. This is knocking on the door of the 5. They'll spot it at the 6-yard line.
Absolutely love the flexibility of these punters. Their leg drive, able to get it way up in the air, and that allows their punt team to get down there and down it inside the 10 because they've had some time.
Drew Brees getting ready to go again on offense. How do you break down his game so far? Just the 1 touchdown pass, but sometimes the touchdown pass stat category, that doesn't tell the whole story.
It really doesn't, not until you balance it with the error side. You know, and in this case, he hasn't thrown any interceptions. So a lot of people would call this almost a pedestrian game, kind of a bus driver game. But that's just really wrong. Being a bus driver is a good thing if you're running a football team because that means you're in control and you're taking your team to the right places.
Yeah, he's been pretty solid. This quarterback now over 300 yards now for the game, and time to improve on that as he's got a 1st and 10. To throw is Brees. Gets this to a standout receiver, Thomas. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. 14 yards is the pickup, 1st down, New Orleans. All the yards, completions, just another play that's a feather in the cap of the great career of Drew Brees.
And wasn't he supposed to be too small to be an effective quarterback in the NFL?
Yeah, how'd that work out?
Yeah, well, his footwork, I think, really sets him apart. Remember, he was a junior tennis champion, beat Andy Roddick, the future U.S. Open champion, back when they were in the juniors. I think that footwork really helps him be the great quarterback he is now.
Brees now, a perfect 8 for 8 to start the second half. Not bad. 1st and 10. Off the play fake to Kamara, it's Brees. And his throw is incomplete. Jared Cook, the tight end, was the target. And now it's 2nd down. Not sure what happened out there, but it looked like the timing was a little off on that throw.
Well, you know I'm a defender, so what am I going to say?
Great defense.
Darn right. They did something to disrupt that timing.
So line of scrimmage still the 39 on 2nd and 10. Brees to throw again. This is complete to Michael Thomas. And they bring him to the ground just shy of midfield. 10 yards, good for his Saints, 1st down.
And the Saints, 1st down.
Ready.
2 1st downs have him up near midfield now on 1st and 10.
I'm coming after you.
Again, they'll throw with Breeze. And this is Cook with a grab. And he's going to have this down deep into Oakland territory. It's a big play there for the Saints. 44 yards.
I know we love our jobs, and pretty much any play we see, we're pretty, excited about. But big plays, let's face it, that's what we absolutely live for. How about that one?
That was great. And what our camera missed was the fist pump from the sideline after that catch. They're fired out. That's a big game. Now a chance to make that big play really hurt. It's 1st and goal just outside the 5. Again, it's Breeze. The quick slant caught. And he'll take it into the end zone for the Saints touchdown. A 7-yard touchdown grab. And once again, the Saints are back out in front. He was on point throwing the ball right there. He had the big play to get him down close, and then he delivers a touchdown pass on 1st and goal.
And you mentioned the big play that got him down close. I think that big play left him reeling a little bit. They didn't recover from it. And they always talk about having to have a short memory on defense after a big play against you. Looks like their memory was a little too long there.
And now they'll empty the backfield here as they elect to go for 2.
Let's go deep, tighten up.
Now Breeze again. To the end zone, but it's incomplete. And in the 3rd quarter here, they were trying to push that to a 3-point game, but instead it'll stay at 1.
And I'm a big proponent of not chasing points or going for 2 too early. But in this case, I understand why. If you kick an extra point, you're just up 2, right? So a field goal still puts the other team ahead. So you go for 2 here and protect the field goal lead. They didn't get it done, though.
After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. This will be taken in at the 1. They'll bring it back to just about the 25. Call it the 24-yard line. Derek Carr getting ready to go again on offense. He's played well. Good first half. He's continued that here in the 3rd quarter. But my question, when you're a head coach, what do you look at stat line-wise for your court? Do you go right to turnovers?
You really do. As much as coaches don't want to talk about that, that's where it starts. When I played in college, our first rule for every game, the team making the fewest mistakes will win. And that's kind of how they judge you. Do you take care of the ball, not turn it over, keep it in the proper hands, and give your team a chance to win?
Well, that's what he's done here in this one so far. And that is going to do it for this 3rd quarter of action. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. To throw on 2nd and 6. Carr got his man. That's Tyrell Williams. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. 19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
Carr now, 12 of 15 throwing the ball, 80% so far, and it's 1st and 10. From the gun, it's Carr. His throw incomplete. He was trying to get it to Zay Jones that time, and that'll bring up second down. Before the game, they were running the route tree about as efficiently and effectively as we could have possibly imagined, but sometimes the passes just go awry.
Yeah, let's face it, when you're running the route tree in pregame, you don't have defenders breathing down your neck. You don't have defensive backs making plays on the football. Hard to replicate the intensity of the game in pregame.
Another throw on second down, and this one incomplete as well.
That would have been a great catch, but it was real difficult to hold on to it because it was contested all the way. Would have been a great play if he'd been able to haul that one in.
The Raiders on third down, 3 for 7 so far in this game. This is 3rd and 10. Carr to throw again. That's complete to Richard, the running back. And he'll only get this to the 47. He needed a few more yards to pick up the first. Here's A.J. Cole now as he's on for the 5th time here today. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away.
Here we go, here we go, here we go.
Back out onto the field now comes the New Orleans offense. So Brees going to lead the Saints up here, 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line. Shotgun now for Brees. And brought in by the tight end Cook. And he'll be tackled at the 23 after a gain of 3.
Well, they're unable to convert that into much, but it's never a bad idea to try to get the ball into a tight end of his caliber's hands and see what kind of disruption he can cause.
Now 2nd and 7 from the 23. Trying to run down some clock with Kamara. And this will go as a gain of 7 as he gets it to the 30-yard line. Well, with the fumble he had earlier, we know how key keeping the football is here. That fumble earlier probably at the forefront of his mind. Just hold on to this thing.
It's also at the forefront of the mind of the guys who are trying to get the ball from him. And since they've seen him drop it on the ground before, they're doing everything possible to have him do it again. They need that turnover.
Now Brees, and he's got his favorite target yet again. It's complete. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. 10 yards, good for his Saints, 1st down. And on that last play there, he's over 400 yards passing now.
And you know what that generally means?
Success.
That, and it means you really didn't miss opportunities. Usually very accurate. The ball's getting to the right place. Guys are making yardage after the catch to help you out that way. I mean, the whole team has picked it up. And don't forget, that means the offensive line has had to pass protect pretty well, too.
Yeah, everyone dialed in. On 1st and 10, here's Brees. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down.
It's a lot of contact going on there, and in the end, unable to keep 2 hands on the football and bring it into his body.
Everything looked pretty good until the finish. So 2nd down and 10. Once again, they'll go from the 40. On play action, it's Brees. Oh, there's that man again. It's complete. He'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. It'll be a Saints 1st down on a pickup of 13. And on that last catch, Charles, he tops the 150-yard mark. It's one thing when your wideout gets that. When your tight end gets it, it's quite another.
We keep seeing the evolution of that position, don't we? We've seen where it's gone from strictly as a blocker to a guy who caught a few passes, to now an integral part of the passing game, sometimes the primary receiver, because a lot of these guys have wide receiver skills, and we're seeing that on display here. Just think about the guys of the past looking back at this game and saying, sure wish that was me. I'd love to have gone out for those types of passes.
Breeze pass. Complete to Jared Cook. A gain on the play.
Well, he challenged the play. It did not pay off.
And that means he lost a timeout in that challenge.
And as a coach, you hate that. Don't know if you took the advice of the player, you threw it yourself, but it didn't go your way.
At the end of the day, it all comes back to the head coach. He has the final determination on whether to actually challenge the play or not. In this case, it didn't pay off for him.
And that's got to be so heartbreaking. You throw that flag, you probably feel really confident, and then all of a sudden, boom, you lose the challenge.
Yeah, when you take a look at it, you're throwing that flag because you believe you're going to be right. And when it comes back the other way, you have to regroup.
19 yards there on the catch and run.
These guys are running offense like you drive. The pedal is down, stomp down. How about that? Back-to-back completions. They are rolling.
So much for being conservative and running that football.
Ready. Yellow lady.
Get that quarterback, D-line. Get that quarterback, D-line. D-line, get that quarterback.
They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. And he'll be brought down at about the 25 after a pickup of 4.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down. A very solid gain on that play.
If nothing else, they've already taken a couple minutes off the clock here already as they come up second down. Breeze on the draw, gives to Kamara. And he's going to have to protect the football and take his lumps here at this stage of the game as they stop him behind the line. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and all of a sudden here, it's third down.
Now, obviously, that's some good work there defensively, being able to stop them and bringing up a key third down. But if you're on the offensive side of the ball, there's an opportunity because I know what defensive guys are thinking right now. Just stop them, get to the ball. That means they might not be sound defensively. There could be some opportunities.
And you said key third down. Highlight that word, put it in bold. Here we go. This will be the 8th play of the drive. It's 3rd and 7.
Let's get it together, defense.
From the gun, it's Breeze. And Cook has it, left side. And he'll be a couple yards shy of the red zone here at the 22-yard line.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
And Lutz puts this one through. And that'll move their lead up to 4 now. So they get to 3, but you wonder now, is that going to be enough?
Excellent question, because when I look at the smiles on that side of the field, they're a little tight, aren't they? If they had scored a touchdown there, those would be big half-moon grins right now because they'd feel a whole lot better about their position.
And a touchdown in the other direction, all of a sudden they're down. Following the made field goal, Lutz to kick it away. Fielded about a yard deep. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. The Raiders offense now, they trot back out, and a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
They run on first down, but it only produces a gain of 2. It's second down now. Give them a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
Hey, we're good, we're good.
Carr with a play fake to Jacobs. Incomplete, almost intercepted. They haven't picked him off yet. Would have been a great time for the first, but instead it's third down.
Oh, man, that was close. The opportunity to change momentum, big play, right in his hands, unable to come down with it.
A sigh of relief, no doubt, on offense that that fell harmlessly to the ground. Throwing his Carr on third down. And this is going to be incomplete.
Everything about that play tells you about today's NFL offenses and what they're asking out of running backs. You can't just be a guy who can run the football. You have to be able to catch it as well, and he didn't get that done on that play.
Here's A.J. Cole now as they're forced to kick for the 6th time today. First kick, 47. This one looks good as well. 47 yards on the punt that time, just 1 yard on the return. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. They have the lead, obviously, late in the game. I guess the good news for them is if for some reason they would make a mistake, a field goal does the opposition no good.
Everyone loves to have a little bit of a cushion, and that helps you immeasurably. But the bottom line is, do all the things that you're taught in order to close out the game. Don't even let that become an issue.
Yeah, but still a one-possession game. This one not fully over yet.
Okay, I'm not quite sure how to judge that one. Maybe didn't have enough legs underneath him. Mechanics might have been off. Maybe some fatigue. That one came up short.
That fourth quarter, maybe you do start to watch as the arm there, the leg's still there. This has been a tough game. Breeze will try again on 2nd down. And Thomas has it. They'll get 9 there as that sets him up better for 3rd down.
One of the selling points of the in route is it gives the quarterback a really nice sight line to his receiver and almost on a direct shot able to throw the ball into the middle of the field and have a great chance of success as they did on that play.
Came up a little short on the last pass play. They did get 9 yards out of it, leaving him with his 3rd and 1. Here's Kamara trying to run for it. And he's able to get the first before he's taken down at the 36. They get 6 on the pickup there as the drive will continue.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the 4th as it was way back in the 1st, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. They fake the give. Here's Breeze. Ginn has it complete. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down.
Let's go.
23 yards, the final tally. So here's a 1st and 10 now in Raider territory at the 41. Breeze now. Pitch and catch here to Cook. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8. Not a big window to throw. Coverage wasn't too bad there.
Yeah, they had him under wraps pretty well, but somehow able to muscle his way open and catch the ball.
So 2nd and 8 here after the pass play for 2 yards on 1st down. Breeze now to throw. That'll be complete to Cook. And he's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped. And he's going to have another 1st down as the tackle comes at the Raiders' 22-yard line. And these numbers on our monitor are getting hard to believe. He's closing in now right on the doorstep of 500 yards passing.
I'm glad that you watched the monitor and said it first because I had trouble absorbing that. That's big time right there, right? That means everything just about has gone right for them and his squad in this game. Let's see if they can keep it up.
Ready. Yellow lady.
Exit, exit. Double time, double time. What? Double time.
Hey. Hey, we got four. We got four down.
Breeze leaves this one with Kamara. And he's got 4 down inside the 20 to the 18. That's a gain of 4 here in the fourth quarter, with them leading by 4 on the scoreboard.
On any running play that's called, they're always hoping that it's going to break big and go the distance. But when you get a nice gain like that, you're able to do so many things anyway. You can come back and run essentially the same play again, continue to move the ball on the ground, or you can decide to throw the ball now because usually you have the defense back on its heels.
And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line.
Defense.
Trailing in the fourth, this close of a game, that's a penalty you just can't afford.
It's an absolute killer, and it's one that drives coaches and teammates insane.
Ready.
So now then, the penalty's got him set up with a 1st and goal. Following the penalty, it's Murray. So a nice job to break the 1 tackle, but not much daylight after that as he's brought down. It'll be a pickup of 4, and it brings up 2nd and goal.
And, Brad, they went to a nickel defense, and that's a surprise this close to the goal line because ordinarily you use the back end of the end zone, the sidelines as extra defenders, and you want bigger people on the field to try and help against the run.
On 2nd and goal, Breeze. And he's got him. It's caught in the end zone. Touchdown, New Orleans. Alvin Kamara there to make the grab. And the Saints able to stretch that lead out further. Well, he wasn't the guy they were initially going for, but after going through the progressions, it worked.
When you have plenty of people who can catch the football, you don't always have to go to your primary target, and sometimes that target is actually covered. Nice job coming off of that and getting it to someone who was open.
And the man out of the backfield gets in for the score. Lutz to try to add the PAT. And that one pushes the lead up to 11. That time a 9-play drive, and it ends with a touchdown for New Orleans. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. This fielded at the 2. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. A look at the running back, the man out of the backfield as he gears up to go again. And there are the numbers. Got off to that torrid hot start. We thought he was in for maybe a career day. Not the case.
No doubt about it. It almost looks like a misprint after what we saw in the first half. But let's give a little bit of credit to the guys on our side of the ball. They went in at halftime, made a few adjustments, and you know what else? They didn't lose.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Marcus Davenport able to get in there for his 2nd sack of the afternoon. You never want to give up a sack. From the O-line's perspective, they hate it for several reasons, especially because they felt like they let little brother down back there in the pocket.
Oh, no doubt. They have a ton of pride, and they go into every job wanting to keep that guy clean. They want that uniform with no grass stains, no dirt, nothing on it, but it's really, really difficult. You're talking about some terrific athletes who are trying to put him on the ground.
Protection certainly going to need to be a bit better here on 2nd and 16.
47's the mic. 47's the mic.
Now Carr. It's a screen to Richard. He juked him. And give him 9 yards on the 2nd down screen play.
For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass. Looked like it was coming together. Looked like there was an opening. Still ended up with a solid game.
The Raiders on third down. They've converted a third of their opportunities, 3 for 9. This is 3rd and 8. Shotgun now for Carr. Able to find Waller. That's complete. And he's got the first down yardage before being taken down at midfield. It'll go as a gain of 25 on a play that started back at the 25.
All right, this is the time of the game where they're down a couple of scores, and they've really got to get some yards in chunks, and they know the defense doesn't want to give those up, but they've got to find a way to take them anyway.
Now the question is, can they string a few of those together? From midfield, here's Carr, fighting to stay upright. And this will be caught. Tyrell Williams. Williams loses the football. And this is picked up by the Saints. And the return across midfield and to the 46-yard line.
Brandon, I don't want to violate any of our broadcasting rules by declaring a game over before it's over. But that one, that puts them in real jeopardy there.
Absolutely. It was a two-possession game. It is a two-possession game at this stage in the fourth. They needed points out of that drive.
And obviously now, no chance at all to get those points that they so desperately needed.
And now the Saints get set to trot out there. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
Kamara. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on second down. Got to figure now, after getting that turnover, they're just going to be happy to keep the ball on the ground, right?
This is where covering the football, taking care of the ball, all the ball security terms that have ever been used, they come into play for the guys on offense right now. Just take care of it, and they've got a good chance of ending up winning this game.
They run it again with Kamara. And here he'll be brought down a little shy of the 35 at the 36. 2 yards, good enough for a first.
I've got an idea. Let's skip racing to the airport at the end of this game. Let's go to the post-game press conference. I have a feeling that the quarterback of this winning team is going to be given a whole lot of credit to the running game and the offensive line.
Yeah, I was just going to say the offensive line, yes, carrying the ball has been key, but those guys up front, they've made a lot of space. They'll run. This is Kamara. Down under 2 minutes to go in this football game. So it's Saints football as we get you reset. And no doubt what they're looking to do is just salt away the final couple of minutes and escape with a win. On the ground, this is Kamara. And he went backwards. He'll be down at the 30. And quickly we're going to get another stop here with 1:54 left as they call the timeout defensively. Third down, Murray. And he won't be close to a first down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. Now the Raiders going to burn their third and final timeout as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. On fourth down, off goes Drew Brees, and on comes the Saints kicker, Will Lutz, for the field goal attempt. It'll be a 47-yard attempt from the left hash. And Lutz's kick is good. And that will get the lead up to 14. So they settle for just the 3, but clearly right now anything helps trying to salt this one away in the fourth.
Without a doubt, obviously a touchdown probably would have been the final nail to finish this thing off, but they still ate up time, got points. So while it's not mission accomplished, it's darn close.
Throwing the made field goal, Lutz to kick it away. This is taken at his 4. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. So Derek Carr in the offense, down by 2 touchdowns, just over a minute 40 to play. Field goals, useless at this point. They need 2 touchdowns, and they need them in short order.
Check 4, check 4. Single, that single slot.
On first down, Carr. And that is caught on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line judge. The throw took him a little too far at second down. That pass just a little bit off. It looked like maybe he tried to force it in there.
Game speed, always different, no matter what you do in practice. Can't simulate it, right? So your decision-making, everything has to be a little bit quicker. Sometimes it can throw you off until you adjust.
Carr again here on 2nd and 10. Well, this is caught by Williams. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down. You got the big lead defensively, willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
They'll get to the line here, but remember, it's also 3rd down. Working from the gun, it's Carr. He's going to let it fly. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, 4th quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter. Let's see how this plays out. They'll go for it. It's Carr. He's got a man. It's Williams. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. Solid gain of 18 and a Raider 1st down. Felt compelled to go for it there on 4th down, trailing in the 4th quarter. They got it done.
And there's always a lot of pressure on a 4th down call. Doesn't matter the distance. You still have to get it done, as you noted, and they did.
To throw is Carr. And he's going to go down. They sack him back at the 42. Sheldon Rankins abruptly ends that play with a sack.
And plays like that really hurt play calling. They had a really nice gain on the previous play, but gave about half the yardage back on the sack. Excellent pressure up front. Nowhere to go with the football. Down he goes.
Carr signaling to his guys, let's go here. Got his man, that's Tyrell Williams. And this is going to be another 1st down as the tackle's made at the Saints 37. Charles, we saw a lot of points go up in this one. Certainly defensively, stuff that they can look at on film, don't you think?
No doubt about it. And they've got to go back and check where the errors are, how they're going to fix them, and continue to get better at what they do. But they also need a little adjustment with their confidence. To give up that many points, even if you win a game, that can hurt you.
So that'll just about do it for Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. For more, log on to easports.com. From Oakland, we sign off. So long, everybody.